Eagles fan. If we had to define the 2025 season in a single expression, it would be emotional roller coaster. We are living through weeks of euphoria and weeks of deep frustration. The offense in many moments seems disconnected, and even our biggest stars have oscillated. We saw A.J. Brown, who was always a monster on the field, go through one of the most irregular and difficult seasons of his career. But in the middle of all this chaos, there is a pillar. There is a player who has been the definition of consistency, that guy who carries the load when things are not going well. I am talking about Devonta Smith. And it is precisely because he is so vital to the team that the last few days were pure panic in Philadelphia. The prospect of taking the field on Black Friday without our safety valve was terrifying. Let's contextualize the fear that took over the fan base. During the week, all reports indicated a gloomy scenario. Devonta Smith was not practicing. The information circulating behind the scenes was that he would be out of the decisive Week 13 game against the Chicago Bears. And the reasons were worrying. Chest and shoulder injuries suffered in that bitter loss to the Dallas Cowboys, added to an unspecified illness that was knocking the athlete down. For a player with his physical structure, these hits to the torso are always alarming. The fans were already preparing for the worst, imagining a limping offense without its main weapon of 2025 against an aggressive defense like Chicago. It seemed that Murphy's Law was operating at full force against the Eagles. But since football is a sport where everything can change in a matter of hours, Thursday brought the news that made Eagles Nation breathe a sigh of relief. Contrary to initial rumors and pessimistic guesses, ESPN's Adam Schefter, perhaps the most reliable source in the league, went to X to confirm Devonta Smith is off the injury and is cleared to play. Bleacher Report also confirmed, highlighting that he overcame not only the pain of the injury, but also the illness that was bothering him. This status change from probably out to good to go completely changes the atmosphere before kickoff. For us to appreciate his presence on the field even more this Friday, we need to remember what caused all this. The play against the Cowboys was not a common play. It was described by the specialized press as a 450-degree dive with a flip. It was a circus play, an absurd athletic demonstration, where he sacrificed his body to attempt the play. The price was high, strong pain in the chest and shoulder. We know that Devonta, nicknamed the Slim Reaper or Skinny Batman, does not have the frame of a linebacker. He is 6 feet tall and 170 pounds. When he takes a hit like that, the impact is real. The fact that he recovered in time on a short preparation since the game is Friday and not Sunday shows a level of resilience and commitment that few millionaire players have. And why is this sacrifice so necessary right now? Because, my friends, this Black Friday game has taken on the air of an early final. Maybe when the schedule came out months ago, no one circled Eagles versus Bears as the game of the year. But the reality of the standings imposed this on us. Both teams arrive in Week 13 with identical records of 8 wins and 3 losses. It is a direct battle between two of the best teams in the NFC. The winner gains an advantage in the tiebreaker and morale for the final stretch, while the loser falls behind in the fight for the best playoff seed. Entering this war without Devonta Smith would be giving a gigantic advantage to Shuwag before the coin even flips. Now let's touch on a sensitive point: money and value. Before last season, Devonta signed a monstrous 3-year extension worth $75 million. At the time, a lot of people turned up their noses. Analyst Brad Gagnon of Bleacher Report went so far as to write a controversial article calling Smith the most overpaid player or the worst investment on the Eagles roster. His argument was cold, saying that Smith is an excellent number 2, but that he had never passed 8 touchdowns in a season and did not deserve to be the 12th highest-paid receiver in the league. He questioned whether paying $25 million a year for someone who, in theory, was A.J. Brown's sidekick made sense. Well, we are in 2025, and Devonta's answer has been given inside the 4-line. While A.J. Brown fights against inconsistency, Smith has been playing the best football of his life. In a year where the Eagles' offense often seemed lost without rhyme or reason, it was number 6 who saved the day repeatedly. Just look at Week 7 against the Minnesota Vikings, where he had 9 receptions for 183 yards, his career high. He proved he is not just a luxury number 2. He is an alpha. Today, there is a very solid argument that he has become more valuable to the functioning of this team than A.J. Brown himself. He justified every penny of those $75 million. And honestly, we shouldn't be surprised. Those who have followed his career since college know he is different. Devonta Smith is part of a tiny group in the history of the sport. He is one of only 5 players to win a Super Bowl, a national college title, and the Heisman Trophy. He is a serial winner. At Alabama, he won 2 national titles. As a freshman, he caught the game-winning touchdown in overtime of the final against Georgia. In 2020, he was the first wide receiver to win the Heisman since 1991. The kid has star power, he grows in big moments, and that is why his presence against the Bears is so exciting. Tactically speaking, the confirmation that he plays changes the entire Chicago Bears defensive plan. If he were out, the defense could double-team A.J. Brown the whole game and stack the box to stop Saquon Barkley daring Jalen Hurts to win the game with backup receivers. With Smith on the field, even if he is not 100%, the defense needs to respect the threat. He stretches the field. He runs precise routes, and above all, he has the blind trust of the quarterback. He is the safety valve. If the game gets tight, Hurts will look for number 6. Fan, the news is this, and it is huge. We went from almost defeated before the game to full strength on offense. Our skinny Batman is going to sacrifice himself, face the cold, the pain, and the Bears' defense to try to guarantee the 9th victory of the season. His attitude says a lot about the character of this team. Now, I want to know your opinion without a filter. Do you think that even playing through pain, Devonta Smith will be the deciding factor for the victory? Or are you afraid that he will aggravate the injury and lose the rest of the season? Is it worth the risk for a regular season game? Leave your comment down below. I want to see the debate heat up. Don't forget to leave a like if this news made your day better, and subscribe to the channel for full post-game coverage. Let's fly, Eagles!